In this video, we're going to show you the math of the balance sheet. The balance sheet is one of the three main financial statements that you run into, and it fundamentally looks at what you own versus what you owe to others. And so the formula that you'll see is this right here. Assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity. The idea behind it is everything you own is probably owed to somebody else in a business. So you see up on top here in the left that what you own are the assets of your company, the things that you have, like you see here cash, short-term investments, accounts receivable, inventory and such. You also have longer-term assets, which are investments typically like property, equipment, land, buildings, and such. And there potentially could be other long-term assets, the brand of the business or the goodwill or such. So those are the things that you own that you can build with and build your business out of. To do that, though, you have to purchase those resources, and those things then become liabilities or things you owe. So you have to buy from suppliers, and so you have an accounts payable. You got to pay your bills with them. You may have income taxes that you owe. You may be taking out loans that you have to pay to others to be able to run the business. And so those are short-term or current liabilities. You could also have longer-term liabilities like long-term notes or bonds that you put out there to raise money for your business as well. And another liability is at the bottom here, stockholders' equity. Typically, in many businesses, we are borrowing startup money or we are issuing cash or we are issuing stock, in which exchange we receive cash to run the business. And so at some point, those owners of that stock who gave us money in exchange for some, percentage ownership in the business, they may want to cash out. And so at some point, we're going to owe them as well to be able to buy back their shares. And so that's a liability that we have also. So when we look at a balance sheet, we're looking at what we own, which is on the upper half here, and what we owe down below. And both of them, assets and liabilities, can be both current assets, in other words, short term, you can convert them over quick, or longer term liabilities, which tend to be longer over time. Okay? So those are the elements of a balance sheet. Fundamentally, what it comes down to, another way you can look at it for what you owe, can also be where does the money come from? And you could argue up on top, what do you do with the money that you receive in from stockholders, et cetera, as well? So that's what the balance sheet is, what you own versus what you owe.